What's up, YouTube? It's CADETSFOREAL, man. You already know what's going on. And before I start this video, keep Jesus in your life, Jesus Christ, and pick up your Bible. That's what I need to focus on doing too. And yeah, but let's get to it. So reportedly, they're saying they have the whole runtime of Grand Theft Auto 6. Just the main story, not including the side missions and everything. You know what I'm saying? The Easter eggs, the stranger missions, all those side quests you have to do in the game. There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be like so much. So just the main story. Don't rush through the main story. All you guys that's gonna watch these streamers, bro, play the game yourself, bro. Cause they're just gonna rush the main story. I completed Grand Theft Auto 6 in 2 days. Shouldn't be like that. You're supposed to do every side, every encounter, every NPC that comes up to you and asks for help. Try it out, see it. That's how it's supposed to be. But they're saying that the prologue from Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be 2 hours long. Everybody knows the prologue of Grand Theft Auto 5. It wasn't that long. 2 hours long. Grand Theft Auto 6 prologue would be. That's perfect. I think that's perfect. We waited so long, you know what I'm saying? 2 hours long, that's, bro. That's literally, if you got no life, I don't know, but that's 3 YouTube videos right there, 2 YouTube videos right there, and a whole bunch of clips, you know what I'm saying? So, you might be good. Chapter 1 would be 6 hours long. Grand Theft Auto 6 Chapter 1 will be 6 hours long. That's not bad. And it goes up from every chapter, like the time. I already know about Chapter 5, but Chapter 1 will be 6 hours long. That's good, Jason and Lucia, what they're getting into, how it's going to be, the people they meet. You meet the family, the friends, just how Nico Bellic, met little Jacob and everybody, that side. Perfect. That's Jason and Lucia's time. That's how I want it to be. Chapter 1. And Chapter 2 will be 13 hours long. Chapter 2 will be 13 hours long. I mean, that's perfect. Perfect. Chapter 3 will be 16 hours long. It's just like Red Dead Redemption 2. Every chapter, the game's gonna have chapters, alright? The game is gonna have chapters. Chapter 4 is the longest. Chapter 4 is the longest runtime we've got. And that's 22 hours. Chapter 4 will be 22 hours, bro. And that's getting closer to the end of the game. And you know how Rockstar likes to stretch things. So it's going to be 22 hours. And Chapter 5 will be 17 hours long. 16 hours long. So total, the whole entire main story of the game will be 75 hours long. But that's just the main story. Like I said, you got all these side missions, all these strangers missions, all these, encounters that you have to do it, experience it. You don't want to go back and be like, yo, I never ran through this, I never got through this, I never did this, I never got to shoot this person, I never got to, do everything. Don't just run through it. All these streamers are gonna do that. We're doing everything, bro. Lucia hit you up, want to go on a date, do it, because she might end up, a dude might end up slapping a butt, and Jason might, have to fight somebody. You know what I mean? You want to do things like that, but let's get to this video.
So another day, another GTA 6 mapping concept. It seems like these are coming thick and fast nowadays. In today's video, that's exactly what we're going to be getting into. But if you guys are new to the channel, welcome in. Please consider subscribing to Project Vice, like, and of course, turn on those post notifications so you never miss an upcoming GTA 6 upload. Now, getting straight into this map, all credit goes to Scenarios on the GTA 6 mapping Discord server who came up and devised this mapping concept, which is absolutely awesome. Credit as well goes to GTA Infinity, who covered this map in detail in a previous video, so shout out to him as well, otherwise I wouldn't have been made aware of it. So getting straight into this map, before we even hop straight into it, it is very different compared to the other mapping concepts that we have seen thus far on the Discord server by the mapping project team, devised by Dupsor. We've seen the mapping concepts from him, version 0.051, and as well from Giannis, one of the other mapping concepts as well that we have seen within the community so far. Now this one is a pretty cool one because some of it is confirmed based off trailer 1, 2, and the screenshots, and some of it is speculative based off the September 22 leaks that we did see.
Exactly.
Do take this more with a grain of salt compared to the other mapping concepts, I will say, but it is still a really awesome GTA 6 map. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way from the top half of the map to the bottom half of the map. So first of all, we're going to start all the way up to the top here. Now you probably noticed that this map compared to the other mapping concepts doesn't actually have...
The map looks perfect. We've seen it in the trailer. What I'm most excited about, like, the map looks amazing. The nightlife. And not just the nightlife in Vice City. Like, imagine pulling up to Mount Caligan and then you see, like, the skunk ape or something. And that would be, like, they need to put these things in the game. Like, they might be in an abandoned house in a forest somewhere and there's a, you know, little girl, a ghost, her spirit is still there from the past or something. And you get to capture it on camera, take pictures of it, and post it on Snapmatic. That'll be perfect, bro. Like some ghost hunter stuff. But I hope all we can do is wait, man.
The Florida Panhandle, which is particularly interesting. Now, we have up the top here in the northern part of the section, we've got Skinwalker Trail, Mount Caliga Waterfalls, Abandoned Mine Shaft, and Abandoned Town, as well as the Cascades Inn.
Bro, an area on the map is literally called Skinwalker Trail. In the middle of nowhere. Skinwalker Trail. You don't think it's a trail where we see a skinwalker at night? Like I just said. I just said that. I'm going to break down all the horror things I found in the leaks as well. I found Skunk Ape. Another parody to The Shining. Something. Bro, you just got to watch it.
I didn't see these in particular in relation to the September 22 leaks. I'm thinking that maybe this could be just speculative based off what we have seen thus far within Mount Caliga National Park and the surrounding areas in real life in the vicinity of this area in the upper part of Florida. That's the only thing I can take away from that. Obviously, we have Mount Caliga National Park, which is obviously a confirmed location based off what Rockstargames has shown to us, which is absolutely awesome. We also got, apparently, there's a little lake that runs from down here to all the way into Red Hill. Now, Red Hill here is a location that we have not seen that's been confirmed on the GTA 6 website whatsoever by Rockstar. This is from the September 22 leaks. Now, according to the leaks, Red Hill is apparently located in the northern western part of the map, as we can see here near Mount Caliga National Park, overlooking the surrounding landscape. Early information based off the September 22 leaks suggests a remote rustic mountain town, potentially surrounded by forests or even featuring a nearby mine, which we do see that is further up from here, up north, that being the abandoned mine shaft.
Look,
So
bro, you see what I'm saying?
which we do see.
You see what I'm saying?
Escape from the September forest north, that being.
It literally says abandoned town, and that's in the middle of nowhere. That's what I'm saying. It's things like that we could see. What if we pull up there at a certain time at night? There's cannibals or something. There were cannibals in Grand Theft Auto 5. Cannibal camp everybody knows about. What if we pull up to that abandoned town, we find a ghost or something running around like a skinwalker, and we get to hunt it down and shoot it, and no one will ever believe us. It's just something that we see as a player in the game. And abandoned mine shaft. That was a mine shaft in Grand Theft Auto 5, right? Or like a railroad thing where you find that little Easter egg of that dude dressed in mafia clothes, something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But like that's what I'm most excited about. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go through the story, but I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna try to find the ocean. The ocean is gonna be a big part of the game. They had a whole separate team working on just the water physics in the ocean. Like just the ocean. Like what I mean is, like, think about Rockstar just working on Grand Theft Auto 6. And it wasn't just that. They had different teams working on different things of the games. You know what I'm saying? So think of them just working on the map in Vice City. And you have a whole nother team focusing on the water life. Like underwater, the ocean, all the Easter eggs. They did that themselves. That's perfect. That's perfect, bro. This game is going to change lives, bro. If you're not doing content right now, get into it. Like, start to build a fan base now. You never know. You might be able to blow up. But, you know, start now. And then hop on this, and then your life will change, bro. Because Grand Theft Auto 5 changed a lot of people's lives.
the abandoned mine shaft. So that is Red Hill right there at the moment, which is interesting. And unfortunately, we don't really have that much to go off about it other than the fact that it seems to appear to be, based off the leaks, that it is close to Mount Caligan National Park, but nothing much more than that at the moment. We have to wait to see if Rockstar will officially confirm that when we do get closer and closer to GTA 6's release.
Yes.
Now, moving on here, we're going to get to the upper right hand side of the map, and that is up here where we do see St. Joseph. Now, St. Joseph was a location that was found within the September 22 leaks. According to it, though, apparently it's located northwest of Seaview, another unconfirmed location, which I'll get to in a moment, which is a part of a different part of the map on this mapping concept compared to the one devised by Dupesaw. More on that in a moment. Making it one of the most northernmost locations in the Vice City region. It's rumored to be a small rural town with historic roots. Hints point to classic American architecture and a peaceful setting. That's all we know about St. Joseph at the moment. This appears to be a little suburb on the GTA 6 map. Once again, unconfirmed. We don't really have that much other than this is an unconfirmed location. It seems that this is quite speculative based off what has been mapped out here. It is particularly interesting though, because it does have like a sand area here. Does this mean that we might be seeing a small little beach in this area if this does formally get revealed by Rockstar and we do see it being included? Like I said, that's why you got to take this all with a grain of salt. It is just a concept, but it is interesting nonetheless that this has been thought of within this mapping concept. Anyways, further down from St. Joseph, we have Sarah Station here. Now, this is a particularly interesting one because this is another location that we did see within the September 22 leaks. It seems to be a parody version of the NASA space station.
Oh,
JFK
get out of here, man. Get out of here, dog. That's insane, bro. Like, no comment, bro. That's beautiful.
Within Florida. So I think that is what Rockstar is going with here based off what the leaks suggested. I would love to see some type of NASA space station parody within GTA 6. A lot of people have predicted and theorized that we may be going to space within GTA 6. I think that is quite unlikely. However, what I think is likely,
but you never know what Rockstar could do, man.
Maybe, this is just me speculating here. I do think that we may be seeing some type of rocket space liftoff or something like that, or space launch, rocket launch, something along those lines. Rockstar may play into within GTA 6, whether it's like a side mission or something along those lines. I think is quite likely. So moving on from Sarah Station, down to the left we do have Leonard County Forest. Now, Leonard County is going to be one of the counties featured.
So the forest in Grand Theft Auto 6, highly detailed. I heard another team was working on that as well. Like I said, another team was working on just the ocean. There was a team working on something, bro. Something in the forest. I posted it years ago when the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer one first dropped. It was like they were working on the graphics on it, but it was something else that they were working on. But like, imagine the forest is gonna be Rage 9. My bad. Rage 9 is the Red Dead Redemption 2 looks beautiful. Rage 9 is gonna look 10 times better than Red Dead Redemption 2, so it's gonna look like 10 times more realistic than Red Dead Redemption 2, the forest. But like I was saying about the Easter eggs and stuff, there's a rumor that everybody knows that Suicidal Forest. You know that movie, The Forest? There's a rumor that there's going to be a forest and we go in there, there's going to be people hung, dead bodies found in that forest. And Easter eggs and a serial killer around Leonida. Like in Leonida.
Within GTA 6 alongside Mariana County and Kelly County. Down from there, interestingly, we do have Waning Sands, which I'll get to in a moment, but apparently Leonard County Forest and just Leonard County in general appears to be one of the counties featured within GTA 6 based off one of the GTA wiki pages online and what we did see within trailer 1.
That's insane. So it's going to be just like Red Dead. Like, you do a crime in Leonard County and then you go someplace else. So you still, whenever you pull it in Leonard County, I feel like they'll warn us, like, you have, like, a warrant here. Like, you have a warrant in Leonard County, so be aware. Just like Red Dead. You do something in Strawberry, you go to Valentine, and you go back to Strawberry. It's going to let you know that motherfuckers after you. You think they're going to send people after us, like bounty hunters? I doubt it. Probably they'll just send, like, SWAT.
Well, it seems like we've already seen the Leonard County Sheriff vehicles driving through the Waning Sands area within Trailer 1. You guys will probably remember when Lucia and Jason are escaping police law enforcement. When they drive past, it appears to be a mall to the right. You do see some Leonard County Sheriff vehicles passing by, going in the opposite direction. So that looks like we are going to be seeing, whether it is this area or somewhere apart on this map, that being Leonard County being featured. Within GTA 5, we didn't see too many different types of counties. Obviously, we did see up in Sandy Shores, we saw the police department up there, and then obviously down in Los Santos, we saw the police department there as well. But it seems to be in GTA 6, there are going to be so many different types of police departments and counties, which is going to make everything so much more realistic and immersive. And having those different types of counties is going to be something that I'm actually particularly happy to see. So a little bit more on Leonard County. Apparently, it's going to be located in the southeastern part of the state of Leonida. Based off what we can see here, it seems like Sarah Station on this mapping concept is located in a different part. Not quite sure why that is the case.
I mean, they said that most of the missions based off of the Fast and Furious movies. Like, you know the story, Jason and Lucia, rumor that he's a mole. That's Paul Walker in the first Fast and Furious movie. There's that safe driving through the city. Everybody knows Fast and Furious, right? Fast and Furious, they drove this safe through Brazil. And they went to space in one of the movies, bro. So you never know what could happen with the parody to the NASA facility. You never know. Might be able to go to space and do a shootout out there and steal a hard drive for somebody and come back to Leonida, and then never know.
Apparently, though, Leonard County appears to be inspired by Broward County, Florida.
Oh, that's perfect. So Leonard County appears to be inspired by Broward County, Florida, due to the similarities in naming, as well as liveries for Leonard County Sheriff Police Department cars being nearly identical to the liveries used by the Broward County Sheriff Office. Everybody from Broward County, man. If you know, you know.
Florida in real life due to the similarities in its naming, as well as liveries for the Leonard County Sheriff police cars being identical. This is interesting. The liveries used by the Broward County Sheriff's Office. So that is a very, very cool, interesting fact that we do know about. A small little detail about Leonard County. We're going to be moving on from that, and that Waning Sands, one of the other suburbs within GTA 6, is going to be featured further up from Vice City. So moving on from Leonard County and Waning Sands, towards the left-hand side of the map, we got another location that was based off the September 22 leaks. That's unconfirmed once again, and that is Bohemia. And next to that, apparently, we also have a theme park according to this map concept.
Yes, bro. So everybody was saying that the parody to Disney is not going to be in the game. Bro, we're literally in Florida. They're going to put everything. It's not people just saying it's Miami, but yeah, they're doing Florida. They're putting different parts of it in one map. So it's Georgia, it's Fort Myers, Tampa, Miami. It's different cities put in one map. Bro, they're gonna have that theme park, bro. They're gonna have it. And it's right next to Bohemia. That's what they're saying, but I don't know. But, bro, there's no way they're gonna take that off. And plus, it got leaked years ago that they were gonna have a parody to Disney in the game. So, a lot of people have been saying it, and it went viral on Twitter that it's not in the game, but I'm pretty sure it'll be in the game because a lot of people were wrong about certain shit.
Interestingly, the location of Bohemia within the mapping concept devised by Dupsol, that being a 0.051, the latest version from him, is that Bohemia is located all the way up here towards the potential Florida Panhandle area up in this direction here. In that mapping concept, it's much more located closer towards Yorktown to the right-hand side of it, and I'll bring it up on screen so you guys can see. I guess, like I said, it is quite speculative and theorized based off what this individual has devised up here from this mapping concept. We don't know much about Bohemia other than it seems to appear to be, if it is going to be included within the final version of GTA 6, a very small suburb within the map itself. So pretty cool. But that's a common theme of this map so far as I've been combing over it, is the fact that there's a lot of speculative and theorized parts of the map. So like, take it all with a grain of salt, because as cool as it is to obviously see these different types of suburbs.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a separate video on that. About the animals and things in the game, in the ocean. Someone says, "Do you think shark attacks, bro? There were shark attacks in Grand Theft Auto 5. If you go out too far in the ocean, you get messed up by a shark. It's back. Come on, bro. Like, think stingrays. Pretty sure they'll be able to do something else as well. The dolphins, pretty sure it'll be lit. The sea, the turtles, as you can see in the photo below, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things, but most excited for Easter eggs. We might see a crashed UFO in the ocean, similar to the one in, what is it, Los Santos, the one that said FIB on it. We might be able to see that. It's gonna be perfect. And one thing I'm most excited about are the mentions. Like Laszlo, we're gonna hear him on the radio. I'm 100% sure we're gonna hear him. Famer Shane, no, or never, know what I mean? Things like that, we're gonna hear it. And I'm so excited for the mentions of the trio, Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. My bad. They're gonna get mentioned. They're gonna get mentioned. But I wouldn't want to see them because they had their time. Like let Jason and Lucia, and probably in the future when they update the game, they could bring them back or something. Never know. But if anything, I'd rather have Nico Bellic back. Nico Bellic.
Suburbs and cities and routes. It is very, very speculative and it's not necessarily a true indication of what the map is going to be. That's why the one from Dupsor is definitely much more, I would say, in my opinion, much more closer to the final version of the GTA 6 map that we're probably going to see within the game. So moving on from Bohemia to the left-hand side of the map, we've got Port Gellhorn, which is one of the confirmed locations that has been formally revealed by Rockstargames based off what we've seen on the GTA 6 website. And interestingly, as we zoom in here, we do see Yorktown Bay. Now,
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect Port Gellhorn to be that big, but I think it was, or am I tripping? The abandoned city. I said, my bad. It's 2 a.m. I'm just up grinding. It's 3 a.m. actually, but losing memory. But I like how it's Vice City, Port Gellhorn, Ambrosia, like different cities you got to pull up to, bro. It's not just Vice City. It's different cities, different people. It'll be the celebrities, the people with money, mostly in Vice City and Port Gellhorn. It's not gonna be as popping. It's a probably parody to Fort Myers, bro. And you got Ambrosia, and then you got the freaking Mount Caliga. It's different areas and different people. So that's one thing I love about the game. Like, and Saint Denis, the black people were in Saint Denis by the bayou. That's realistic, motherfucker.
Yorktown is one of the other unconfirmed locations that was a part of the September 22 leaks. Based off the description provided by one of the other mapping concepts, apparently it's speculated by the community to be a location in the northwest region of the GTA 6 map, likely northwest of Port Gellhorn. Now, interestingly, within this map concept, this part of the bay of Yorktown Bay is located southwest of Port Gellhorn. Interestingly, because Port Gellhorn encompasses this whole area here, even though it's listed and identified down here, which I find is particularly interesting. But anyways, apparently Yorktown, while unconfirmed, it might represent a suburban or industrialized area based on leaked references. Now, another interesting thing with Yorktown is that apparently, according to Dupsor's mapping concept version 0.051, Yorktown is located towards the right-hand side of Bohemia, which Bohemia on the mapping concept version of his one was located around here, and Yorktown appears to be located around here. But on this mapping concept, it seems to appear to be located around this area, which I do find that is an intriguing pickup and something that there's two different sort of viewpoints of where it may be situated on the final version of the map. Now, further down from Yorktown Bay, we also do have, according to this mapping concept, we've got Port Gellhorn Port Terminal. Now, this here is another thing that apparently, I'm not sure if it has been confirmed based off the screenshots or anything along those lines. I may have to fact check that. You guys could probably let me know down in the comment section below if you have found anything particularly interesting in relation to that. And we also have the Port Gellhorn Paper Mill, Port Gellhorn Rivermouth, and the...
Why is nobody mentioning the mall? No one's mentioned the mall. The mall is in Grand Theft Auto 6. I already said it in one of the past vids. But apparently the malls, there's different malls. There's flea markets around the map. And there's this one big mall in Vice City. Like I said, I would like to, Hop on there, GTA Online, do shootouts, you could do events. It would just be amazing. Boxing at the beach. That's one thing I'm planning on doing. When I go live, everybody pull up. If you have PS5 or PS6 by the time it drops, pull up.
Wastewater plant. Now, the wastewater plant is something that was featured within the September 22 leaks, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty certain that was part of the leaked files. Zooming back out and coming up a little bit further up north, we also have an abandoned theme park, a trailer park, as well as a Port Gilhorn overlook. And it seems to appear that this route here, from all the way down this part here from the Port Gilhorn Raceway, which was a part of the September 22 leaks. I'm not sure if we've seen this already within the screenshots or within any of the trailers thus far, but we can see further up here, this trail here. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was a part of the leaked footage where Jason is at like a gas station or something like that. I think this may be around this particular area here, but we see further up here, this trail sort of leads into Red Hill, which is part of the right-hand side, which I went into early on one of the other unconfirmed locations. Further up north, we also have Draper Island here. This is something that I don't think was featured within the September 22 leaked files and footage. However, with that being said, this could be something that, based off the individual that devised this mapping concept, could be basing it off one of the real life locations and coming up with a fictional name and placing it within this GTA 6 map here. That's the only thing I could take from that. We do know that Port Gilhorn, interestingly though, is, from what we can understand, based off Panama City in real life. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Panama City is part of the Florida Panhandle.
Wait. Port Gilhorn in Grand Theft Auto 6 is heavily inspired by Panama City, Florida, and its surrounding areas. The city's design, including its architecture and atmosphere, draws heavily from Panama City and the Forgotten Coast region of Florida. Okay. Like, I'm not understanding though. It's like, it's literally what I said. It's not just Miami.
Handle within real life. I could be wrong. Someone can fact check me on that down in the comments section below. Nevertheless, though, anyways, Port Gilhorn is obviously one of the confirmed locations within GTA 6. And funny thing is about Port Gilhorn, we know that based off what we've seen of the screenshots, it seems like it's more of like a rundown, industrialized area. So moving on here, further down, we've got the Leonida Prison, the Fort Baxter Air Base, and Montera. So I'm going to go through each one by one. Now, Leonida Prison is one of the prisons that we did see within GTA 6 at the start of the first trailer. We do see where Lucia is incarcerated there, and we do see one of the social workers that works for the Leonida department of the corrections facility, which is further located actually down south here towards Hamlet, based off this mapping concept where Stephanie works at those headquarters there. But further up north, we do see within that prison that she is talking to Lucia within the first trailer. So that is where Lucia is held up there within the Leonida prison. Now, particularly interesting thing about the Leonida prison is that we know that based off what we have seen so far from it is that obviously Lucia is seen with her prison inmates. One of the screenshots that we do see of Lucia on the GTA 6 website is that she's seen in handcuffs, and we do see some other prison inmates within that specific screenshot. Based off what we know about the GTA 6 story so far, we can sort of theorize and speculate that this is likely going to be part of the start of the game, where likely Jason is going to bail Lucia out of prison, which we do see within the second trailer. Obviously, we're just basing this off what we have seen within the trailer footage provided by Rockstar, but that's what we know about the prison at the moment, that Lucia is incarcerated there. We know that Stephanie, one of the social workers that we see within trailer 1, is seen there, probably checking in on Lucia. Now, further down...
So this is what I peep. Like, there's a lot of water on these highways, on these roads, to get into a certain area. So I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of gators, bro. It's going to be a good, like, place to go hunting, fishing, do things. But there's going to be a lot of gators, dog. And that's from the blow, like, especially when you're just going through the water. They might be hiding under the water. Similar to Red Dead. The hunting in Red Dead will be similar to the hunting in GTA 6, but just better because the way it looks and more options, obviously.
we do have the Fort Baxter Air Base here. Now, this is something that wasn't mentioned within the September 22 leaked files at all. However, this was featured within GTA Vice City and it is based off the Homestead Air Reserve in real life. Now, interesting thing about Homestead is that it is located further down south towards the Keys area. Within this map,
you cannot have another Grand Theft Auto game in Vice City without mentioning Tommy Vercetti. They have to mention Tommy Vercetti. Even if he's dead, they have to bring him up. There was a guy that used to run Vice City, Tommy Vercetti. Or they could have Tommy Vercetti's pizza shop, a little corner shop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna mention him. They always mention past Grand Theft Auto characters in Grand Theft Auto 6. They always do. They always do. But I'm here to see Tommy Vercetti. Or even hear him. I'm glad to even hear about people. They bring up Jay Norris in the leaks. They bring up Jay Norris and said his head got blown off. Come on, bro. That's perfect. That's literally perfect. They're bringing up shit from different games, bro. That's amazing.
Mapping concept though, it is apparently located in the middle half of this map. Not sure why that is the case, but the mapping concept individual that came up with this has his reasonings. Not sure the reason as to why though. But yeah, in real life it is located more so towards the south of Miami in real life on the Florida map. Now, we also have Montero here. Now, Montero is not a location that was featured within the September 22 leaks. However, it is theorized that this could be a part of GTA 6 because there is a shot within trailer 1, which similar to one of the scenes I was talking about earlier within where Jason and Lucia are driving by likely a mall that is located on the right hand side of the map that we do see where the Leonard County sheriffs are passing by, driving through, going in the opposite direction. In the far distance, based off what some keen-eye individual has found on Reddit, there has provided some information saying that Montero Boulevard, Copper City in real life, that it appears to be maybe this could be in the far distance of that shot. Obviously too hard to say because it is a very small minute detail that we do see within that specific shot of that trailer. Now moving on, we also have Seaview. Now Seaview is an unconfirmed location that was actually part of the September 22 leaks. According to one of the other mapping concepts, the description they provided was, it is located in the northern part of Vice City. I'll more on that in a moment. Right on the coast, it might be a sleepy fishing village or a quiet seaside suburb. Early clues suggest a small community with direct access to the ocean. Now, even though on this mapping concept, Seaview, in terms of the unconfirmed location that we know of it, is located towards, it seems like the east side of Florida or Leonida.
Yeah.
It seems like there we do have some water surrounding it and looks like an island or something of that sort. Seaview within one of the other mapping concepts devised by Dupsor actually located all the way up here towards St. Joseph. So I find that particularly interesting that this one here on this mapping concept is all the way down.
Yeah, this is they said it's gonna be similar to Red Dead Redemption 2 maps. This is gonna be the biggest. This map is gonna be bigger than Red Dead Redemption 2. Bigger. They said the map, the dude's son said the map was the dude that worked at Rockstar Son that leaked stuff about the game. He said it was 10 times bigger than Los Santos. He's probably over exaggerating, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the biggest map in a Rockstar game we've had.
South looks like southeast, but in the other mapping concept it is more up north. So yeah, we don't really know much about Seaview other than the fact that it is likely going to be a location that's going to be formally revealed later on or could be entirely scrapped. We don't know at the moment. Moving on down south from Seaview, we do have Watson Bay as well as the Grass Rivers, which we do know the Grass Rivers is a confirmed location that we are going to be seeing within GTA 6 based off what Rockstar have provided on their website. But yeah, Watson's Bay is going to be a town apparently within the Grass Rivers region, and that is because we do know that the name is identified.
Bro, just like that where the black people stay in Red Dead Redemption 2, bro. And by Saint Denis in the bayou. But I don't know, bro.
And confirmed on one of the water towers that we do see in one of the screenshots Rockstar provides. So that looks like it's going to be quite a small little town outside of the Grass Rivers, even based off this mapping concept here. The Grass Rivers obviously based off the Everglades within Florida in real life, which we have seen throughout multiple screenshots. According to this mapping concept, apparently there's going to be Gator Bay, which I'm not sure how truthful that could be. Or
exactly, there's going to be gators everywhere, bro.
That may be the case. We do see within the Grass Rivers impressive is that there are a lot of gators that are featured within the screenshots that Rockstar provided. So this could be the case where we do see like a gator bay section. So moving on here, we're going to go further up north, and we've got Hamlet here. Now, Hamlet is another location that is unconfirmed that was a part of the September 22 leaked files. With that being said, though, one of the descriptions that was provided by one of the other mapping concepts is that apparently Hamlet is located south of Vice City. They go on to say that apparently this appears to be a small town or rural community. The name itself suggests a quiet, modest settlement, possibly suburban in nature or closely tied to the surrounding landscape, and may serve as a calmer counterpart to the bustling city of Vice City. Now, interesting thing with Hamlet, now I'm not sure if this was the case within the September 22 leaked footage. We may have seen this, that being the Hamlet Raceway. I think that was something that was featured within the September 22 leaks. So it could be getting confused with the Port Gellhorn Raceway, but it was something that I think was part of leaked footage, but someone can correct me down in the comments section below. Further down south, we also have the Hamlet Nuclear Power Plant. So this is something that I think was identified within the leaked files in 2022 as well. It doesn't look like Hamlet's going to be a major component of GTA 6's map. Once again, similar to a lot of the other unconfirmed locations such as St. Joseph, Seaview, Red Hill, potentially Bohemia as well, and Yorktown, which is probably why these locations haven't really been formally revealed yet, because Rockstar revealed.
Everybody's forgetting about the tolls in Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm not paying for nothing. I'm speeding straight through that. So, you know, during my gameplay, my walkthrough, it's going to be a lot of cops coming after me because I'm not, speeding straight through that, bro. I did the same thing in Grand Theft Auto, I did the same thing in Grand Theft Auto 4, that little toll. I never paid. I just drove straight through.
The big major locations that we have seen thus far. Could be wrong. Maybe Rockstar are going to surprise us with potentially revealing a fictional Orlando, which I'm hoping for, or maybe we see another state, that being Gloriana, but that's a discussion for another video, but I've mentioned it numerous times here on the channel. So moving on here, further down south from Hamlet, we got the Gator Key. Now, the Gator Key, now it's formally revealed officially by Rockstar, that being the Leonida Keys, which is good to see that we've got that confirmed. And further down south from there, we've got Key Lento. We know Key Lento was featured within the second trailer, specifically within the bar scene, where we see Lucia pulling Jason to go onto likely the dance floor. And we see some other unnamed side characters within that specific shot of the second trailer. And then further down south, we've got, according to this mapping concept, we've got Hindenburg Key, Airstrike Key, Sundown Key, more on that in a moment, and SFUWO School. Yeah, I don't know about these particular locations like Airstrike.
Yeah, there is going to be schools. There's going to be schools around the map. Remember that. So I'm pretty sure it'll be most likely... I don't think there's going to be kids in the game, but I'm pretty sure they'll add like colleges or universities around the map with college students. So, yeah. Like that. But I doubt Rockstar will ever add kids in the game. It'll be like Jimmy and Tracy, Michael's kids.
Key, Hindenburg Key, and the SFUWO School. I'm not sure if these are based off some locations located within the Florida Keys within real life. Could be something that maybe this individual that came up with this mapping concept went over. But I don't think we saw these featured within the September 22 leak. Someone can fact check me in on that. But the Sundown Key, and more specifically Sundown, is a location that was featured within the September 22 leak files. According to a description, once again, like we've done previously, apparently Sundown is speculated to be located at the southwestern edge of the Leonida Keys, which matches up here with this mapping concept. Based on leaked footage and community theories, it's believed to be a remote town or settlement near the water, possibly with a quiet rural atmosphere. Alright, so moving further up north from the Keys, we've got Vice City, which we know most things about Vice City compared to any other location from the GTA 6 map that we know of so far. From these mapping concepts and just based off the descriptions and stuff that Rockstar have provided of all these locations, Vice City is the most that we know about it. Now here, it's not really mentioned on this map concept, but this is the Vice City International Airport, and we've got so many other locations featured within Vice City here, which the Dupsaw mapping concept version 0.051 goes into detail much more so, identifying the locations and the landmarks based off what we've seen of the trailers, which I think, in my opinion, based off what we've seen of these concepts so far, and this one particularly, but the one from Dupsaw is much more thorough and detailed, because it does go over saying that This part here is the Venetian Island. We've got the various beaches, a part of Vice City, that being Vice Beach, South Beach, Washington Beach. Interesting thing about this one here in this mapping concept version as well is that even further up north, we've only got the Waning Sands that's identified further up north from Vice City. We don't have anything else that's identified here on this mapping concept. Just a night and day difference, really. Like we've got in the mapping concept version devised by Dupsel, we've got Crosstown, Brickell, Ferry Island, Star Island, Watson Island, like I said, Venetian Island, Pelican Harbour, Bayshore, the Leaf Links Golf Club, which is not on this mapping concept version, but we do know that the Leaf Links Golf Club is going to be returning from Vice City, that when we do see Tommy Vercetti at one of the beginning missions within GTA Vice City. Nevertheless, though, we know that Vice City is going to be quite big. Based off this mapping concept, it is larger, I think, compared to the one from Dupsel as well, which is, once again, that's why I think this one is really, really speculative compared to the other mapping concepts. Not just the one by Dupsel, but also the one by Giannis as well, which I've covered here on the channel. But anyways, guys, that does bring us to the conclusion of the video.
Like, comment, subscribe, be on the next baby when this game drops.